Hi, Earth signs. This reading is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, but also anybody that is drawn to watch this reading. This is going to be an elemental reading for the next month. So whenever you're drawn to watch this, I do already have the other elements out, and I always kind of say that, probably since we are a mix of elements, probably, well, minimum at least one reading is gonna resonate, if not two or three. So if you don't find that this one resonates, definitely check out the other elements as well, as there is a collective reading. Okay, so I'm gonna jump right into it. So hopefully you're doing well. If anyone was actually waiting for this reading, thank you for your patience. So let's see what's going on for Earth signs. What message can we give them today to help stay in highest vibration and on the truth path between now and the rest of the month? Okay. So a bunch of cards pull out. Okay, what do we got here? What do we got here? What do we got here? Okay. Okay. So we have the King of Cups. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Aeon, which is the Judgment. Okay, and we have the Emperor. Wow. That is powerful. So there is something that is about, again, being called to, like, okay, we had, the King of Cups there, which is, he's the master of the water energy. We also have the Emperor, who is the king of all the kings, embodies all the strengths. Okay, we have Judgment and Nine of Pentacles. So, I mean, this can be just kind of like stepping into, like a real call to action with the Judgment, right? Like kind of a call from above to really step into that Emperor energy, okay? Emperor in his highest energy, like in the highest vibration, okay? He's the one, again, regardless of gender, okay? He's the Emperor, so he like takes care of, the empire. Sometimes things may seem unfair, but he does what's just, like, again, I always use the example about, if there's some kind of like food rations or whatever to make sure that, you can survive, or that the empire can survive the winter, for example. It may not seem fair to somebody who wants more, more than their share, but it is ultimately right for survival in order to move on. So there's something about, really making, with the Judgment, it is a very, it's a major arcana. The Emperor is a major arcana as well, right? So these are big decisions, big, like evolution, big, being drawn to like really step into your power. I mean, like the King of Cups is great, the Nine of Pentacles is great, like these are great energies, but the Emperor, okay, embodies them all. Okay, I just had a billion cards fall. They're all face down. I'm just gonna shuffle them down and just be more careful. I don't know. Are you guys excited? Like, do you have a lot to say? Because it's just like all these readings, maybe I'm just not paying attention, or I'm just chatting too much, or talking too much, or whatever the case is, but I keep dropping all the cards. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to do an 8-card spread. So what can we tell those that are trying to see this? What can we help them throughout the month? Okay, right, there we go. I'm just cutting the deck. Hope you guys are excited for the weekend, depending on when you watch this. Okay, I took a little, like, look in the middle. I don't know if I can find it. And now there's the Queen of Pentacles. What do you mean? We had truth and speak come out just now, like in the middle. So there might be something that needs to come out, and it's come out pretty much in every reading. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck, okay, on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. Okay, so another King energy. So, I mean, you guys are bossing up, man. Like, I mean, all these readings are connected, and so, okay, like, the King of Wands, again, is the energy of, like, passion, the energy of inspiration. He gets shit done. Okay, really fast moving, really inspirational, so see how this plays in. Okay, so what we have here is the world is such the world, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I really encourage you to check out the other readings, man. Like, check them all out because they're all connected, and you'll probably find some kind of like more information about your situation probably by checking out the other readings. Anyways, I can see how they're connected, but okay. So the theme is the world. Okay, so this is about, you know, ending a cycle. And in this case, I think it's about stepping into, that emperor status. You know, like it is like, again, embodying all the energies, right? And evolving. Okay, so this is like, it can also be about travel and seeing the world and stuff like that. But, in a grand scheme, like this is another major arcana, right? So we have the, world came out, with the emperor came out, and what was the other one? Judgment. Judgment is right before the world, man. So this is like the before, this is like either something is coming, like something like you can just feel there's some kind of call to action, or when it comes, like you are just going to be called, because this is about stepping in to your power, okay? Ending a cycle, once and for all, okay? And leveling up, and this is excitement, okay? And I talked about in the air reading, I talked long and hard about the world, okay? And it can take a long time to play out. So if this is the theme, again, if this is like a smaller kind of world, it can just be about travel. My cat is eating plastic. Like, okay, I know there's some reading when I was like talking about this. Okay, I gotta pause this. Okay, sorry. I guess doing some unpacking, and he just finds a tape. So I remember when that happened in one of the other readings, I'm like, what are you being stubborn about? What do you mean? Because maybe there's something that, okay, if I wanted to like tie this in, no accents, right? Like I think I was saying, this is a smaller thing, right? This can be about like the theme like throughout the month. It can be like, could be travel, or it can be, again, really wrapping up this cycle, okay? Maybe it'll end this month. Maybe it's just something that will, can take the rest of the year to really wrap up or so, okay? But we are all collectively, like we are all stepping into a new world, like it's an evolution on a grand scale, okay? And yeah, so stick with it, okay? But you got some great energy. Like, I think you must be feeling good. If you're not feeling good yet, you're gonna feel good soon. The world is your oyster. Okay, so it's gonna be the theme of the month, Okay, and what is past that's influencing you today? Again, it can be a lesson that you've learned that you can kind of take with you forward, or it can be like specifically like with the situation, okay, that maybe coming up again. Okay, it's the Hermit, another major arcana. Okay, so like the Hermit, this is somebody who has spent a lot of time reflecting, a lot of time in meditation, and then another time kind of like, really, like you can kind of see him like, he is really back to sitting there in like a meditation, and gaining the light, spending some time in nature. So you might have found that in the recent past, and it's probably been, again, it's major arcana, so this is like, this is like, if this is a solo path, okay? So, we had the Nine of Pentacles earlier too, which is also something about, like this is, about feeling good and, and confident and things like that, right? So there probably has been like a huge cycle, and maybe it's about that this cycle about being alone is ending, like again, if we think about the if we think about the Emperor, I said that he takes care of the community. He takes care of, family. He takes care of, the world, the empire, right? Okay. So if you've been finding that there's been a lot of time in solitude, okay, it is helping you and it has helped you. You've learned a lot about, spirituality. You've learned a lot about what makes you happy. You've learned a lot about, your path and where you're going, okay? And you stuck with it, okay? Like the hermit, right? Like he knows that like he has to do this, with or without anybody else. It's like, again, we talk about the judgment earlier too, okay? Like, yes, it can be just a simple everyday, well, not an everyday judgment. It's a big judgment, a big decision kind of thing, right? Because it's a major arcana. It's one that has like the ability to impact you for a long time, okay? So there's been a lot of wisdom here, okay? The Emperor has wisdom, okay? He's already like, okay, if you see the like King of Wands, right? He's ready to go in. Like he's ready to like attack. He's ready to fight, fight what he please and fight like that, right? The Emperor though, in a lot of cases he's shown you know, sitting on his throne, being like, I've been there, I've done that, I went through that, especially when you think about the hermit, right? Like, the hermit, would have had to take a lot of courage, to do things regardless of other people with them, and probably been a lot of time, solo, okay? But you've been learning, you've been meditating, you've been growing, and it's like now it's time to really like get out there, okay? Spread what you know, okay? Take care of that community. Okay, and I'm moving closer to try to show you here. Okay, this is actually, hopefully I can get it in. This is actually patch in the middle of this, like, I don't know, amoeba or something like that, or Merkaba, probably, I mean. And, like, does it show up? Okay, but again, it's showing that ascension, and from this wisdom that you gained, okay, and you look, okay, there's a snake. Okay, symbolically, like snakes, can talk about seduction, can talk about, like the, well, I mean, like the snakes in the grass and stuff like that. It can talk about, like the risks. So if you think about this, right, like, I mean, the temptation, I guess, is also what I'm kind of thinking about. It's like there's a lot of temptation out there, for example, to not follow your path, not follow what you're guided to do. The hermit does a lot of reflection about what is true to them. And so I feel that there's been a lot of time in introspection. A lot of time gaining wisdom, a lot of time reflecting, a lot of time in solitude. Okay? But now, this is a whole new cycle. And what I'm looking at here too is like, okay, I gotta start like setting up my real stuff. Like I have other cameras and stuff like that. I should be like pointing on the thing because I mean like this deck is really, really good of showing images. Okay, like when I have it on the table and stuff like that, because it's hard to see here, but it's almost like I can see the rays. Okay, there's the enlightenment. Okay, and it's like spreading out to the world. Okay, this knowledge, it's time to get out there. It's time to spread your knowledge. Okay, this can represent things like the internet, like things like YouTube kind of thing, and spreading like what you've learned. So congratulations, because I mean, if you're like, these are some long cycles, a lot of hard work, man. Congratulations again. World is graduation day, okay? This is gonna be your graduation like month, man. Graduation, like end of the year. It's like bring on 2021, you know? And not just because of everything that's been happening in terms of like the world and COVID, because I mean we're not going back. You don't go if you've graduated and you leveled up, do you go back? Like it's like, finishing high school or finishing university and keep going back. Like, I mean, I guess for university it makes more sense because I mean you could learn something else. But okay, so the high school is a better example, right? Graduating from high school and then I'm just gonna keep doing grade 12 classes. Like no, no. You've learned your lessons, you learned the knowledge. You're not gonna gain anything more from that situation. It's time to see the world. Okay, exciting, and it's going to bring a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, a lot of fun. I'm excited for you. All right, so you in this situation, or the present situation that, probably dealing with the time you're watching this video, okay, is the Six of Swords. Okay, so this is another travel card, okay. This is generally one's always hard to kind of get in focus, but maybe it shows up better in watching it. But anyways, so this is the Six of Swords. So this is about balancing the mind. This is about moving into calmer waters. Okay, again, and this can definitely be travel given all these kind of situations, all right? But this is about, if things have been seeming, either your mind has been kind of being kind of conflicted. We did have the Five of Swords come up in the other readings, right? So, that is kind of, can be battling internally within yourself or with other people, but this is about peace. This is about, again, this is another, ascension card. I turned it upside down. So maybe there's a reason that I turned it upside down in the sense of it can point to the Five of Swords. But it's there probably is some kind of ending, especially if you've done a lot of reflection. If there's some kind of conflict that, that needs to resolve even within yourself or whatever, about where you might be going or something like that. This is about, bringing peace to your mind, bringing peace around you, okay? Knowing that things are going to be okay. We are going into calmer waters now, okay? And it's we have that inspiration. So, good. If you've been I'm not saying worrying or anything like that. There's nothing saying per se that, but in this reading, but the Hermit can think about a lot of things. And we had a lot of suggestions throughout different readings about people being trapped in their head and thoughts. So it's if you've been thinking long and hard about something, gaining wisdom, it's now whatever conflict, whatever thing is you've gone beyond that. You're fine. If you're not fine, you're going to be fine soon about bringing peace to the situation and being okay, Okay. So what we have is kind of the challenge, or can be an opportunity depending on how it is. Okay. The light. The reveal. So again, this has come up for every single reading pretty much, or some capacity. So now this is the challenge. I don't remember when it came out before, Vice maybe, or just kind of popped out, but this is, okay, in this deck, they have 4 extra cards that are above the, and again, it's not really in terms of a hierarchy or anything like that, but it's just, a lot of tarot connects with Kabbalah and the true life and a lot of other aspects, right? And so there's a lot of correspondence with, certain cards with different things, but then there was definitely 4 in the higher registers or something like that. I don't know it all yet. But there's 4 higher what they call the Holy Arcana that is supposed to connect with those higher parts of the tree, right? And like, I can't remember, I think okay, we had the truth in between, so I think the truth comes right after this, technically, okay? But then it comes reveal, which is the light, okay? So, this turns out, but like, basically, you know, from this leveling up, you know, from this wisdom that you gained, there is a huge cycle, okay? So I'm just kind of doing like visually. Anyways, so now the challenge is about there's some big reveal, okay? It can come from like maybe recently, like, or something like that. Like, you could have had some kind of download, spiritual download, maybe. But also, like, I mean, the challenge is now, okay? So if you've been coming into some kind of peace, some kind of like judgment, you know, and you're feeling good about it, you know, or throughout this process, you know, okay, there's going to be some kind of reveal now that you've been more calm. You know, like, I mean, if you've been stressing a lot, like the Five of Swords, if it's been within yourself internally, I mean, to kind of think that, I mean, you could have been going back and forth or whatever, and then now you're at a place of calm or throughout the month, and then there's some kind of giant reveal. Either you need to reveal something because now you're in, you know, a place of ascension, a place that you've like learned a lot and you're kind of ready to do your grand reveal, or that you receive some kind of grand reveal that, you know, may become a challenge. Now, again, challenges can be opportunities, so it's like basically this is what's the situation is. So something is going to be revealed, or you're going to have to reveal something potentially, especially if you've been thinking about this a lot. You know, like, you should know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe the reveal is going to come in, or it's going to be some kind of like spiritual download that you've been getting because you've been spending a lot of time in the solitude, a lot of time balancing your thoughts, your mind to meditation. Anyways, good job. All right. So your message from your higher self, or anything that, like, you know, maybe you haven't been paying attention to, I don't know. Take this message how you want, okay? Is the Hangman. Another spiritual card, man. Okay. So this is the Hangman. And so I really like it in this deck, okay? So this is about that universal pause. So this can be taken in a few different ways, right? Because let's just say that, okay, so you've been spending a lot of time in the past, you know, over the last few months or longer, okay, really kind of developing yourself spiritually, you know, things like that, right? And, you know, gaining wisdom. And then so now the spiritual advice or the guidance or what's happening is it can be two ways or both. So, I mean, it can be about this giant reveal, okay, is going to give you a completely different perspective on something. And so it can be just wait, like that you don't need to do anything, like in the sense of like, you know, just kind of, you know, there might be like, again, this universal pause, okay, which is good to be using to have things in another perspective. You know, use this time, okay, if things seem to be kind of slow and not really happening, it's like use this time, okay, to gain perspective on things, gain different knowledge, okay? Now, the other side of this too, okay, this is about, you know, like the whole kind of like you spend enough time in hermit mode, you know, it's time to see the world, you know, and it's like telling you, it's like you've hung there long enough, okay? So either if you're trying to make a reveal, you know, like depending on how you feel about this, like, I mean, has this been taking a long time? Like, have you been, you know, delaying this? in which case, you know, could be time to start getting things done. You know, it's like, you know, start seeing people or something, right? You know, or it's again like just wait, because you're gonna get a new perspective. Okay, the thing about the hangman is about when you take time to pause, okay, you can, like, you know, again, gain a different perspective. Things look different upside down. Like, I'm going to show this one upside down, right? I actually look at this every time I see this one, like when it comes upside down. Like, sometimes this can talk about, you know, coming out of, you know, the hangman, you know, it's like, okay, I've been waiting and stuff like that. Now I'm coming out of that kind of thing. But I find in this deck is like, he has like 5 o'clock shadow or whatever, or like a full beard. He's like, okay, man, your hair is now growing too long here, or whatever the case is. You know, beard getting scruffy. It's like, it's time for action, you know. So take it how it is. But either way, these are super, super, like, powerful cards. These are very, very spiritual. Okay, so there is some kind of big reveal, either kind of like from the world, from the universe, from somebody, or that you need to do, you know, and like you have been gaining a new perspective on something, you know, throughout this whole type of pause that is very divinely guided. So I do really feel, though, that this is coming out of it, you know, though, that it is with the King of Wands at the bottom, right? This is action. The Emperor is action. So it's time to, like, if you've been alone a little bit, you know, I'm not saying like feeling lonely or anything like that, but if you've been alone, you know, spending a lot of time in solitude, working on things, you know, working your spirituality, it's now time to, like, blend. Now time to match that, like, you know, practicality with spirituality, you know. Okay, the unexpected here is the Four of Cups. So this can be expect the unexpected, you know, because the Four of Cups here is, okay, maybe it's kind of partly like, I mean, if you keep not doing whatever you need to do, like, I mean, like, yes, we all need those pauses. Yes, you know, like, enforced quarantine, enforced, you know, this and that, you know, but there's a time that we need to, you know, move on. You know, there's a time that, like, I mean, things can get stagnant, right? And so this Four of Cups is generally like, so in a lot of ways, it can be about boredom, but the unexpected is not boredom in this. You're not going to be bored, man. Oh my goodness. Like, maybe you've been bored now, like, or recently, and it's like, okay, you know, maybe you've been feeling that fire under you with the King of Wands energy, but it's just like, nothing's happening. It's like there is some kind of divine pause going on. Okay, so if you've been feeling like certain things you've been wanting to put in action, you know, like, it just wasn't happening. There's going to be some reason you're going to get a new perspective of why you were halted. Okay? And I do feel that this is expect the unexpected. Okay? And I do feel that this is also about, like, I mean, okay, because you can see, you know, there's two people here, right? One person is just, in this case, is sitting under the tree. Sitting under the tree, minding their own business, you know, maybe meditating, maybe doing something with those cups. You know, a lot of that, it can be reflecting on, you know, the past, present, future, you know, kind of thing, right? And, you know, but anyways, just doing your own thing. And all of a sudden there's this unexpected little up for communication, emotional display, you know, something trying to get your attention. It's minor arcana, though. Something as big as anything else that you've been going through in terms of, you know, but I do feel that it's going to help you with something. It's going to be unexpected. Expect the unexpected. And it might seem small, but I think it's going to lead to big, big things, maybe. Okay, so your guidance, your, you know, This is the way. Which is also like, I think this corresponds with the Tao, I believe, also. So this is the way. Okay. So your guidance is to lead the way. Oh my God. This is huge. Okay, like, so I think, okay, so we have the world. And then I think we have, like, kind of like trust. I think that comes after that, right? Okay, so I believe you've already had trust. That's given. Okay, so there's going to be some kind of reveal, either that or someone gives to you that is going to lead the way. And then what comes after this is also the all. So the way is, okay, so it is pray, and it is also trust. Okay, so this is about, kind of, if you're a praying person or whatever the case is, pray. Maybe the guy is like, but like this card, none of these holy arcanas have any kind of like negative, So on this side, it's also, about trust, But the way is about like, okay, you can see Earth ascending. Because like, it all happens on the individual level first, right? Like, before real change can really happen, right? Like, it has to happen from the individual first. We all have to do our little parts. Well, little part, big part, whatever we feel guided to do, we all have to do it, right? And by doing our part, okay, by revealing what we need to reveal, by, taking that knowledge that you've been gaining, the wisdom that you've gained, and reveal, maybe again your new self, whatever the case is, right? But with this reveal, you're not only this is like the whole, like, all ships rise kind of thing, like what's the saying, like, basically the water and all ships rise, and basically it's like we all can be successful. There's not, not just, there's enough pie for everybody, okay? And it's like through whatever you have done, spiritually in the eternal work, okay? It's time to get out there. It's time to speak your truth, okay? Because there are big things that need to happen. The world needs you right now, okay? By bringing this ascension along yourself, by closing the cycles you need to close. Wait, that's the world. That's not the world. I was trying to show the world. By closing the cycles you need to close, okay? So this is a reveal. There's too many cards. Especially too many cards that look the same. Okay. So this is the world. Okay. By doing what you need to do to like end this cycle, reveal what you have to do about your own self, maybe, okay? You're taking yourself, okay? This is ascending yourself, okay? Going further. And this is bringing the world with you. Leading the way, inspiring others, okay? Follow your truth, okay? Follow your truth every step of the way, and you're going to inspire the people around you, okay? We are all ascending together, whether you like it or not. Yes, like, I do think we're at a point in time where, like we can never go back. Like, people who are drawn to these kind of readings and drawn to whatever, it's like we're not going to be able to return to how it used to be. So we need people that innovate. We need people that come together. We need people to, create the world that they want to see, be the change they want to be in the world. anything is possible. Everything is possible, and it starts with you, okay? It starts with what you know is true, the wisdom you've gained, okay? You know, share it. Don't be selfish and keep it to yourself. A lot of people are, I'm kidding, you know, okay? But people want to hear what you have to say, okay? What is this world that you want to create and what you want to see? And where is it taking you? Okay. That doesn't look as exciting. Okay. But this is super, super good, okay? This is the Ten of Swords. This is an ending. So there's some big endings here. So, I mean, there might be some. So what I do take it as is that this is like also ending, you know, whatever you've been hiding or whatever someone's been hiding from you. If there's some kind of grand reveal, you know, or whatever, you know, the universe might have been blocking from you from seeing for a little bit. But it's like, okay, now you're able to see it, whatever the case is. But this means that a new day is dawning. It is over, which is amazing. This is great, okay? Things are not, the pain is over. And if it's not over yet, it's gonna be over soon, okay? You know, a new day is dawning. Like, congratulations. You did amazing work. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. You know, like, I mean, wow, like, I'm definitely connecting to some really like powerful people here. You are an inspiration. Like, keep it up, okay? Share your knowledge, share your reveal, okay? Be excited. You're gonna have such a great end of the year. Oh my goodness. And these are big. This is gonna stick with you forever. Okay. Whatever pain, okay, like with the Six of Swords there, okay? Like if there was any kind of conflict, just like petty, a little bit. It is nothing like, I mean, if you're still in that little conflict, right? Like with the Six of Swords, I mean, it suggests that you're feeling good now, or if you're not, you're going to in that calm mind, right? But it's like that little battle, that little, like, you know, conflict or something like that. It's like, you've been through much harder stuff, okay, to worry about any kind of little petty shit like that. Like people gossiping, people whatever. It's like, leave it behind. You got bigger shit to do. Congrats, man. You're ascending. You did the hard work. It's time to get out there. Okay. So what kind of message can we have? We are still in the blue moon energy. I meant to do this reading a lot sooner, but now I'm finished. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. So what kind of message can we have those that have been drawn to watch this reading? Finally, only one. Actually, well, there's a couple of things that are sticking out. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so what is this? Take time to breathe out. Okay. So, again, with the Hangman too, right? Like, as the kind of the spiritual self, like, I mean, if you've been working really, really hard to get something done, you know, to get things resolved or whatever the case is, it's like, take a breath. You deserve a rest. You deserve a celebration. You know, every graduation is followed with a celebration. It's even celebrated or followed sometimes with a break, right? You know, like a vacation. You have summer break or something afterwards, you know? So, you know, make sure to have some fun this week, you know, take a breathe out, you know, like, you know, especially because if emotions are running high and, you know, it's time to release negativity, okay? Like, I mean, if I forgot what I was going to say because I ended up like looking at the bottom of the deck and then I got distracted. Sorry. But this is your commitment is being tested. Okay. So it's time to release, and then I remember what the card said. It's time to release any negativity. Okay. Like, I mean, if there was any pain, I don't think you really like it. I don't think it bothers you anymore. Not with that kind of like, not with any of these energy around you. It's like I don't know, like an elephant having a little fly around, you know, just like, I don't know. So I don't think it bothers you, but I mean, if you do have any kind of like negativity, like it's time to release it. I mean, I think something is going to be revealed to you that's going to give you a whole new perspective on this, okay? So, I mean, maybe it's time to meditate, maybe meditate a little bit more to really kind of reflect, or if you have some kind of big reveal, you know, like that you need to reflect on, you know, but I mean, big things are happening and it's about something about getting out there, you know, spreading your knowledge, you know, like be the change. Okay, you know, and that's the same one again, you know, but like, awesome. Anyways, I'm done on this one. I hope if anyone watches this now, I hope you have a great weekend, and, you know, hope to talk to you soon. Stay tuned. Bye.